Hi, my name is Mark David Gerson, and I'm here today to talk to you about writing, creativity, and the creative process. For more information about me or my work, please visit my website at www.markdavidgerson.com. That's Mark David Gerson, all one word, .com. The question for today is, do I write from personal experience? I think we all write from personal experience. And that it's really where the write what you know comes from. But my take on write what you know is a little bit different, I think, than the traditional take on write what you know. I talk about writing what you know from here, from in the heart, not writing about airline pilots because you're a pilot, or writing about gay issues because you're gay, or writing about black women because you're a black woman. It's writing about the truth of the human experience, and that transcends all boundaries of race, class, color, vocation, profession, religion, everything. So when I write from personal experience, it's not like I'm sitting down saying, okay, I did this today, so I'm going to write about it. I do that on my blog sometimes, but in terms of the full-length work I do, or the non-kind of blog writing that I do, it's really connecting here in the heart, into the heart of my experience, and writing from that place. So The Moon Quest, a true fantasy, my novel, really, to my shock, was a story about me, though I didn't know that when I was writing about it. In fact, I wrote the first draft of The Moon Quest in the third person being he said, she said, and a few, not even weeks, I think, before I was done with that first draft, I sat down to write, and what came out from me was not what I expected that day's writing to be, which was a continuation of the story, but something new. It was the prologue that is now part of The Moon Quest, which you can listen to, you can watch me read from on another video. And it was in the first person. It was a story. It was a telling of an old man in the first person, resisting telling his story. And that became the opening, ultimately, to the second draft of The Moon Quest, which was totally rewritten in the first person. And it was in that moment that I wrote that prologue that I knew that the second draft had to be in the first person. And I knew as well that it had been in the third person, because had I known I was writing about me and my own personal experience, I might not have had the courage to continue. And so that my muse, as I've said before, is a trickster, and she tricked me into the story by having some distance from myself as I wrote it. So yes, it's a story of personal experience. It's a story of metaphoric personal experience, because I don't live in a land that has two suns, and I didn't have those particular physical experiences that Toshar, the main character, has, but it truly is a metaphor for my creative journey and my creative opening and my creative unblocking. And so in that respect, I wrote from personal experience, but the personal experience is an experience that came through the writing. It wasn't, again, like I said, I'm going to sit down in my mind and write about my story. That doesn't mean I don't ever do that, but when I write from personal experience, that really is it's the deep place that I'm talking about. So the true fantasy, as I mentioned before, that The Moon Quest is the truth of the human heart, the truth of the human spirit, the truth of the human experience, the truth of the human emotion. It's not necessarily a factual recounting of anything, and there's the distinction between truth and fact, which for me is a very important one. So yes, I write from personal experience, but not necessarily in any conscious way. And even when I do, because I'm working on a memoir, I'm still allowing myself to be guided in terms of what I write and how I present it. Guided not by some unseen force, but guided by the essence of the book, by the essence of the stories that I'm writing, by my muse, if you will, by my heart, which is where all the stories ultimately reside, and where the personal experience resides. So if you want to know more about me or about my work, please visit my website at markdavidgerson.com. If you want to know more about my personal experiences, you'll find some of those on my blog at markdavidgersonblog.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, username markdavidgerson. So go and write about your personal experiences, your experiences of the heart, and have a wonderful and creative day. Thanks for watching.